sometimes they say, this universe, this world, is never what you think it is. And this universe is what you think it is. This world is never what you think it is. This world is exactly what you think it is. Can you understand this? Since I arrived in ÊTRE, I stayed at Ramanashram, I could recognize all thought, all feeling are not the true I, because in 1 second they could disappear. And they do. If I just recognize this, a huge, endless, formless, peacefulness maybe happen. It's the self, the true I. It is the true freedom. Some minutes later, I recognize another thought and then let it go. And then the self. If I continue this practice, the I thought will disappear. I mean, the sense of individuality will disappear completely. Then question mark is there, see? So the question is, if I continue to practice, the I thought will disappear and continue. I mean, will the sense of individuality disappear completely? Yes, and it sometimes is still there like a soft shadow. It is said that when sometimes in daytime you can still see the moon in full daylight. No? We can see. Sometimes in the full presence of the sun, the moon can be seen. But then nobody pays much attention to it. When the sun is up, when no sun, everybody we write poetry to the moon. But when the sun comes, sometimes you can still see the moon, but nobody pay attention to it. You see? Sense of individuality, I don't know, in the inner experience of this, what this question is asking, in the inner experience of this, people may speak to you about personality, but inside you will not have a way of understanding what it is, this personality, what it means. It has no meaning at all. When we are really in the belief with the mind, it feels like, ah yes, your personality, my personality, well it's just... But in the state of freedom, such words, they have no meaning. What is personality? I don't know. Your life is more like a verb than a noun. It's not a fixed thing. For a long time we are really perceiving ourselves like we are an object, referring to your body like you. But as your mind also is merging in that heart, infinite heart, you don't feel like an object at all. It's as though your existence is experienced like you're a space moving in space. You're like a form of space moving about in space. There's a lightness, a transparency, a purity. When that belief, the I belief, when that is thinned out and only that radiant consciousness is remaining, then all these things we speak about will become known to you spontaneously. You don't have to learn them. You don't have to go study them in a book anymore, because they are revealed in you. And this is why I am sharing with you, reminding you, you don't have to study so much. The way in which mind studies, it accumulates information. but you are the informationless being. So I said, don't worry about studying all these things unless you want to impress people with them. Find that and be that. And what needs to be known arises spontaneously in you. What needs to be done arises spontaneously in you. The needs, the true needs of the moment get satisfied. Appropriate actions come, appropriate responses come. Where from? Out of the depth of your being they come. And in a moment. You can go anywhere, in any climate, in any culture. You may not be able to speak their language, but you'll still be in tune with the presence there. You will speak to people who have a discipline that you don't know anything about, but just being present as presence. You will converse and they will have the sense that they're speaking to someone who is in their discipline. All of this is inside your own being. So don't lose energy studying individual things. Find that thing which, when found, you won't have to be asking others questions anymore. If something is to be known, it will arise out of the depth of your own being. I speak to you from that common ground, not from the place of multiplicity and differences. Differences really are superficial, they're unreliable, momentary. Enjoy, don't be afraid. Naturally, our beingness is not a fearful being. We learnt fear, but it's instinct in us to trust. If I continue to practice, this person say, what is the practice? Best practice, remain as the self. Keep identifying I'm the self. What it means, the self. Huh? That which perceives everything else is taking place in its presence. It is the seer. Both the actions, reactions, interactions are occurring spontaneously in your presence. If you don't touch the thought that I am the doer, I am the one that makes things happen. Because if you touch this thought with belief, then you'll believe it into existence and it will become your experience. This is how the world works, by the way. Sometimes I say, this universe, this world, is never what you think it is. And this universe is what you think it is. This world is never what you think it is. This world is exactly what you think it is. Can you understand this? If you believe we are perceiving what we are conceiving. If you are a person, this world will seem full of persons. When you are the being, you will not feel bound. You will know every being. Look in the eyes of every being and you'll know, you'll recognize yourself. These things are not poetry. They're simple truths, and you will experience them and confirm them for yourself. You will confirm them. In your heart they will be confirmed.